So I'm a huge fan of Megaman X, but I'm not a big roguelite fan. However, the game 30XX is super dope. I've been playing on the Switch with a good friend of mine who's actually we're gonna show you some gameplay. This game is sick. I mean, if you are a Mega Man X fan, you like playing as Zero, playing as Mega Man X, and then that whole kind of thing, but you know, really want to get through and have a split system as far as like every time you beat it, you're kind of making your way a little bit farther. You're gonna like this game. Without further ado, I really want to show you guys this because I think you're gonna really enjoy it. So 30XX, like I said, is kind of like it's a roguelike Mega Man X game, and like you can really tell the people who made this game definitely have a lot of passion. Like this game feels like what Capcom like should be doing with the Mega Man X franchise. They actually do have a couple game modes. If you're not into like the roguelike style, they have a classic Mega Man style mode where you can go through and fight all 8 Robot Masters and then the final level like in whatever order you want, and the levels aren't procedurally generated. I will say from personal experience, those levels, that version of the game seems much harder. Then other than that, they have like community created levels. I have not dabbled into that, but it does seem kind of interesting. So, like I was saying, you can kind of pick between a Zero-like character and a Mega Man X-like character. I'm going to be honest with you, I actually forgot their real names. I just call them Zero and X, pretty much, because that's what they are. I mean, even though the X character is actually a girl. But I mean, you know, X is a letter, not a gender, so whatever. Besides that, though, they have the classic trappings of one of these kind of games where, you know, you do get certain items throughout the game that you can then go and expand your like skills or options for subsequent playthroughs that'll make it easier and easier. I mean, in theory, you could beat the game first shot if you're like a pro and know exactly what's going on, but more than likely you're going to be kind of running through multiple times to unlock more stuff to make your way to get to like a better build out to just have an overall better chance of lasting through the game. The thing, however, I really like about this is the fact that there is split screen co-op, and you can do it on like couch co-op, and they also have an online co-op, both of which are fun. And for the duration of this footage and the duration of this video, I'm going to bring in my buddy Logan because we played co-op together, and he's going to help me explain this stuff.
The levels are randomized, which makes it slightly difficult to gauge their difficulty, considering you can start with one and think it's quite easy, and then later, if you get it later on a different run than the beginning, it would be completely different and completely harder.
And another thing that adds to the randomness is they actually have challenges in the beginnings of the levels, and the challenges could be as, you know, simple as, you can't use special moves, or as difficult as every time you get hit, all things are locked. And they have rewards. Sometimes they're worth it, sometimes they're not, but you're always going to kind of keep your eye out because you might get the items that you really need by beating the challenges.
Starting bonuses are also random and are given to you by an adorable cat robot that sleeps, and then you wake it up and it grants you its blessing, which generally is always beneficial, but it can be confusing as both characters get different abilities, and usually if you're the Mega Man alike, you will get a Buster ability, which you also might need to equip. So check that out.
So there are some currencies that don't carry over, like the ones I discussed earlier. And these are like in-round currencies or in-game currencies. I don't know how you want to call it. But either way, like Mega Man, they have bolts, except for they call them nuts, even though it looks like a bolt with a nut on it, I guess. And you can use those in various ways. They have vending machines that give you life. You can buy certain power-ups. Also, another currency is scrap. And when you get augments, which are power-ups you get throughout the run that are part of the randomization, the augments can be scrapped if it's something you don't want, get scraps to trade them for other augments, etc., etc. And the last currency is kind of good, kind of bad. It's these tokens. You get them really rarely, very randomly. And the tokens themselves go to a slot machine, which is also random. I mean, you could get a whole bunch of tokens and never get the slot machine, so they're useless. But then, when you get to the slot machine itself might actually lose, meaning you don't get anything anyway. But when you do win, it's typically something pretty good, so it's definitely something to keep an eye out for.
There are different challenges in-game you can run into that are entirely optional, but if you complete them, you will definitely get bonuses you need to complete the game if you intend on fighting all 8 bosses in a row. Mostly, you'll be fighting Gauntlet and Don't Get Hit challenges, and Gauntlet, being one of the harder ones, can end in a boss and give you an armor buff, which you definitely want.
And like all of the regular levels, there are mini bosses, and the mini bosses are set in the sense that a certain level will always have the same mini boss. However, it is random depending on difficulty for how far in the game it is. Like if you fight a mini boss on the owl level as your first level, opposed to doing it on the 7th level, it'll be entirely different. Same boss, just different patterns, more life. It's definitely a struggle, but it's also a way to get augments, and of course it's what you need to do to get through the main game.
The bosses in this game are exactly what you want from a Megaman X alike. They're interesting, colorful, varied. They all have their own personality, and their patterns are quite difficult at first, but that also can change the more you go along, as you can encounter the same boss later in a different run, and their pattern changes drastically, and they're much harder, maybe more health and more damage.
And just like a Mega Man game, when you beat a boss, depending on if you're the Zero character or the Mega Man character, you get a ability from them. But also, as you go on further, you have the option to maybe not collect their ability and instead level up one you've gotten previously. It's kind of cool. It really makes the runs very, very customizable. But on the whole, like I said, if you're a Mega Man X fan, you're going to really want to check this game out. Currently, if you're watching this video, like on the day that I put it out, it's on sale right now. I think like 15% off. So, you know, after watching this, if it's something that interests you, I definitely recommend looking into it. But hey, that's 30XX. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is a game that I really wish they do a physical copy for. Maybe they will. Maybe it'll be like a limited run thing. But like I said, let me know what you guys think, because I think this game personally is very fun. That's going to do it for today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. It would be super cool. But as always, my friends, take it easy.